Hey y'all, before we even unpack this political soap opera, you already know what to do. Smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with your crew. Oh, and keep your fingers ready for the comment section, because what you're about to hear is wild, messy, and soaked in kind of irony you couldn't script if you tried. Now, picture the scene. Tiffany Henyard steps up at a township event, all confident like she's about to host Family Feud. She looks out over the crowd and says, "Did any of y'all know about the budget meeting on Saturday?" Her tone says she's expecting dead silence, like she's about to catch folks slipping. But instead, boom, 3 hands shoot up instantly. Then more follow like a wave at a stadium. People start saying, "Yes, we knew." Her face? That little blink of panic gave everything away. She stumbles, fumbles, tries to flip the script mid-question like maybe she could spin it back in her favor. But the audience wasn't playing along. This wasn't a slip, it was a televised freefall. Now let's rewind. Those so-called secret Saturday meetings Tiffany swore were plotted behind her back? Yeah, turns out they were nothing secret at all. They were regular, publicly posted trustee meetings. Same time, same place, every month. She had every chance to be there, but she didn't show. And because she skipped out, the board had no choice but to keep business moving, appointing Trustee House as mayor pro tem. So someone could actually run things. She cried sabotage. Reality called it doing the bare minimum of their jobs. So when she strutted in later, acting like a queen betrayed, demanding, "They didn't even tell me," the crowd basically said, "Oh no, they told you." And in that moment, the power she thought she held dissolved like sugar in hot tea. The trust? Gone. The authority? Gone. And it all happened on camera, in front of her own constituents. This wasn't just awkward. It was accountability showing up with a front row seat and a microphone. Let's get into the access thing. Budget meetings at 9 a.m. on a Saturday? That's not community outreach. That's political theater dressed up like public service. No real explanations, no effort to break down the numbers for regular people, no actual push for community voices to shape decisions. Just pages of spreadsheets and a thick fog of political smoke. And Tiffany? She loves talking about public input, but only when she's holding the mic and standing dead center in the spotlight. And no, the petty didn't stop there. At one point, she literally locked the municipal building. Yes, locked it. The trustees had to hold meetings outside on the sidewalk or hop on Zoom like we were back in peak lockdown 2020. And when called out, she claimed they chose to meet like that because, elected officials just love swatting mosquitoes and dealing with glitchy Wi-Fi instead of using their actual offices. Please, sis, if you watch that clip closely, you'll notice something wild. She's still mid-rant, still in full outrage mode, but in the background, the motion to appoint her replacement is already rolling. No waiting, no hesitation. They were done. This wasn't just an embarrassing moment. It was history in real time. One stage performance instantly overshadowed by a board that already moved on. What's crazy is how clips like this get buried, pushed down the feed like they're nothing. But when you rewatch it, you see the full story. Tiffany walked in expecting control. Instead, she got the truth shouted back at her from the very people she thought would back her up. The illusion cracked, and the audience got to see exactly what was underneath. So here's the real question. Was Tiffany avoiding responsibility the whole time? Was this a strategic act to keep the cameras on her while dodging the actual work? I want to hear from you in the comments. And if you felt that poetic justice deep in your chest, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're tired of political PR campaigns dressed up as leadership. And here's the part Tiffany didn't seem to grasp. This wasn't even a debate about replacing her. That ship had already sailed before she opened her mouth. While she was talking, the decision was in motion. The mayor pro tem was already acting in her place. And when she finally caught on, phew, you could practically hear the meltdown brewing. "He's not the mayor," she snapped. "Ma'am, not yet. But guess what? Now he is. You are the mayor, past tense. That role is gone, and you're still dragging the anchor like it's a prop in your one-woman show. Let's make it plain for everyone. Mayor Pro Tem isn't some shady coup. It's literally just a person who steps in when the mayor's absent. Not betrayal. Not sabotage. Just grown adults making sure the lights stay on while the main character's missing in action. But this is where it gets messy. First, she's telling folks, I was available. Then, without missing a beat, she's claiming, I was denied access. So which is it? Were you locked out like a budget season ghost floating above the building? Or were you just conveniently unreachable until the work was already done? Because your timeline says it's not adding up. Then came that infamous line, I wasn't there, but I was alive when it happened. Girl, what? This is local government, not a paranormal investigation. You're either there and accountable, or you're absent and irrelevant. Pick one and stand on it. And the big finale? She turns to the crowd for backup, like it's a pep rally. By a show of hands, who even knew about the budget meeting on Saturday at 12 p.m.? She was expecting solidarity, maybe even applause. Instead, she got hit with a tidal wave of reality, hand after hand going up, voices calling back, we knew. That's the moment the curtain dropped. She walked into that room fully expecting silence. You could see it in her face. This was supposed to be her moment to rally the crowd, to make them gasp, to hear the supportive. No, we didn't know either chorus she was banking on. But baby, the plot flipped mid-scene. The room didn't just stay quiet. They calmly, almost casually, raised their hands one by one like, yeah, we knew. Her face? It cracked in real time. The kind of break you can't hide, even if you try. And instead of owning it, she tried to salvage the moment with a weak little pivot. Just 3 of y'all? Like, maybe she could laugh it off. But the crowd? Oh, they doubled down, louder, sharper. We knew. And here's the thing. When you ask a direct question, you can't get mad that people give you a direct answer. That's on you. And about that email she's been waving around like a golden ticket, let's be real. It wasn't the official notification. It was a courtesy. Somebody did her a favor and tossed her a lifeline. But the real notifications? They went out way earlier to everyone who needed them. She's cherry-picking the one email that fits her I was iced out narrative, while ignoring the stack of actual notices that blow her whole theory to pieces. That's like showing up to court with a Taco Bell receipt and swearing it's proof you were at the scene of the crime. Sis, please. The people knew. The notices were sent, and the only person left in the dark was her, and that was by choice. Don't take the crowd's awareness and try to twist it into your alibi. Then came the swipe at the budget process. She started claiming there was no transparency because the trustees didn't sit there and break down every single budget line item for her benefit. And yeah, sure, we'd all love a detailed TED Talk on where every penny goes. But Tiffany, you can't scream about a lack of transparency when your own story sounds like it was pulled from the rejected pile of Netflix political dramas. Transparency doesn't start at the meeting. It starts at home. And her narrative? Full of plot holes big enough to drive a township snowplow through. Out of nowhere, because she loves a random tangent, she drops, I haven't approved a single liquor license in over a year and a half. Like she's bragging. But that's not a flex. That's a chokehold on small business. That's restaurants that can't open, lounges that never launch, wine bars that will never see a single pour. She's not just blocking nightlife. She's strangling economic growth with her bare hands. You can't call yourself a leader when your personal taste decides the fate of an entire community's business ecosystem. That's not moral high ground. That's just economic sabotage. Meanwhile, the vibe in that room? Unmatched. In the background, Kamal standing there glowing like he just walked out a top-secret Area 51 hangar with a recipe for eternal relaxation. Tiffany's on the mic talking no liquor licenses, and her man's back there looking higher than township taxes. The math is not matang. It's giving rules for thee, not for me, and people in that room were clocking every frame. The contradictions are so loud, you can hear them before she even finishes a sentence. And let's clear something up, those denied licenses? Not about violations. Not about keeping the town safe. They were denied because she simply didn't feel like approving them. No review board, no objective standard, just her mood. That's why so many local entrepreneurs are bleeding out before they even get to open their doors. You can't stand in front of camera and preach about economic development while you're quietly shutting down every single path to it. That's not governance. That's a petty power play dressed up as policy. Then she tries to come with the numbers, flipping open budget sheets like she's about to expose some grand conspiracy. Vehicle licenses down from $95,000 to $70,000. Fire recovery revenue from $75,000 to $20,000. Fines from $25,000 to $15,000. Bond proceeds from $1.2 million to $1.1 million. But here's the truth. Those drops? They're the trustees systematically scrubbing out the infamous Tiffany taxes that she and her circle baked into the system. No scandal here. Just a deep cleaning of the mess she left behind. And she's big mad because they did it without asking her permission. She thought this was going to be her comeback tour. That moment where she got the last word and proved the haters wrong. But by the time she was done, the room had already moved on. She asked a question, and she hated the answer. That's not a smear campaign. That's a mirror being held up. When leadership becomes lip service, receipts start speaking louder than speeches. The people didn't betray her. They just stopped pretending they believed her. So now she's stuck in this weird loop. 1 minute claiming she's available, the next whining that she's been blocked out. Which is it? Were you actually locked out, or just floating above the drama like the ghosts of budget seasons past? Because saying I wasn't there but I was alive when it happened is not a defense. It's a plot twist from Ghost Adventures. Nobody's buying it. Pick a lane, stick to it, and maybe, just maybe, bring receipts that don't crumble under basic fact-checking. And let's address that 9:15 a.m. email for a noon Zoom. She calls it sabotage. In reality, that was a courtesy, a last-second save in case she wanted to clock in and do her job. But she clings to it like it's smoking gun evidence, ignoring the pile of earlier notices. She's out here using "I didn't see it" as if it's a legal defense, not a confession of negligence. Tiffany, this isn't a tech glitch. It's a leadership glitch. Then came the piece de resistance. She turns to the audience, full drama mode, and says, by a show of hands, who even knew about the budget meeting? This was supposed to be her mic drop moment, the dramatic gasp, the unified we had no idea. Instead, hands went up, heads nodded, and the truth thundered through the room louder than anything she had planned. That was the instant the mask shattered, and everyone saw what was hiding underneath. Because here's rule number 1. Never ask a question unless you already know the answer. She didn't, and the people didn't play along. That wasn't sabotage. That wasn't betrayal. That was accountability, live and unfiltered. A reminder that you might hold the mic, but the truth belongs to the people. And when they decide to speak, no spin in the world can drown them out. Tiffany gave herself a pop quiz and failed in front of a live audience. So I'll leave it at this. Know your audience. That's Mama's golden rule. You cannot lead people you're actively trying to fool. And if you've been riding with Mama this long, drop a 7 in the comments. Lucky number 7. That's how I know you're tuned in, tapped in, and done with the nonsense. Because you keep me grounded when the tea's boiling and the mess is spilling everywhere. I see you, I hear you, and I love you, deeply, unapologetically, always.